Hello, Blood Bowl fans, and I apologize first of all for how late this video is because I should have done this 3 days ago. 3 days ago? 2 days ago? Whatever, a couple of days ago. Unfortunately, Blood Bowl was down, so I only just got back up yesterday, and yesterday is one of the days where I teach in another country, in another city, not another country, so I don't have as much time as I would like. But anybody who is watching at the moment, welcome to chat. It's good to have you here. Let's go through these teams one last time before we're ready for the knockout. So we're on the final round of the round robin stage. And let's start off by having a look at Division A. Here we had Elves of Shannara losing 1-2, that's a high elf team, to the undead team Dresden Files. The delicate little pansies, the Wood Elf team, managed to go 3-1 against the humans Old Navy Reserve 11. And second-rate Skaven, the Underworld team, went 1-0 against Howling Hairballs, the Necromantic team. Let's see what's new in this group then, starting with Dark Shadows and his Dresden Files. So, 1090 TV now, 60k in the bank. We've only picked up one extra level. It's gone on a white at least. I'm pretty sure these whites were underdeveloped before, but now we have an extra Mighty Blow on the team. So the Guard Mummy is still a Guard Mummy, and there's a Mighty Blow on a white. Otherwise, still a very undeveloped team, surprisingly. 3 rerolls, fan factor of 1. There's a skeleton that's 1 away from leveling, there's a zombie that's 2 away from leveling, and then there's some dotted SPP around. Each of the ghouls can actually level up with a touchdown, though there's a few too many in the team for my personal taste. 1 on 4 SPP, 2 on 3 SPP. And that's it for Dresden Files. Having a look at the humans led by an Inchbred man, the Old Navy Reserve 11, sitting at 1,170 TV with 160 in the bank. The Ogre has Guard, I can't remember if that was there before, but it's there now, definitely. There's a Blitzer with Mighty Blow Guard. There are also 2 Blitzers on 5 SPP. The Thrower is a touchdown away from leveling, and the Catcher has Block. There's 3 team rerolls on this team, and an Apothecary. I wouldn't be too surprised to see an extra positional brought into the team as well. Maybe a 3rd Catcher. It looks like the gap is there for 2 more catchers, so we may see a 3rd joining for the last match of the round robin. Then there's Meshuggah, who has been a fantastic addition to the admin team, I must say. Really happy to have him around. He does some of my work for me. It's glorious. The Howling Hairballs sit at 12-10, and there's nothing in the bank. Surprising. 3 team rerolls on this team. One of the werewolves has Block, one of the werewolves is a touchdown away from leveling. Flesh Golem has Block, our Flesh Golem is on 0. There's a white with Tackle and a white with Guard, and the Tackle piece is a touchdown away from leveling again. The Ghoul has Sure Hands, and then all the zombies, 4 zombies, one of which has 5 SPP. Not an overly flashy team, but they've developed quite well, considering. Got a pretty decent mix of levels on that team there. Gerber second-rate Skaven, the Underworld denizens who've been playing pretty well actually from what I can tell, sit at 1,200 TV with 130k in the bank. How's that Gutter Runner doing? The Gutter Runner is still just a 2 heads piece, but he is 1 away from leveling again, so Gutter ahoy. The Troll has Claw, a Skaven Blitzer has Mighty Blow Claw, the second Skaven Blitzer has just Mighty Blow for now. Skaven Throw has picked up Dodge, and then that's it. There are 2 pieces on the Skaven side of things with 2 SPP. All the other goblins are on exactly 0, which is interesting. I really want to see the Gutter Runner piece develop though. I want to see this Gutter Runner that he's talking about. Really looking forward to that. 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary on this team. Then we got Undo, and his Wood Elf team, the Delicate Little Pansies, sitting at 1140 with 60k in the bank and 2 pieces missing. There's also 2 armor broken linemen. It's a very beaten up team, but this War Dancer is beautiful, isn't he? He's rolled 2 lots of doubles, bless him. Mighty Blow and Piling On. You heard that right. War Dancer with Mighty Blow and Piling On. Wow, Stairway to Hell is a perfect name for him. And Highway to Heaven has strip ball tackle built like a normal War Dancer. That one's not on any kind of roids, unfortunately. There's also a catcher who's picked up Block, and the Treeman has been given Grab, which is a normal take for Treeman. There's a lineman with Dodge, and as I said, there are 2 linemen that are armor busted. We're playing with 2 loners in our last match as well. So that's it for Delicate Little Pansies. And the last team in this group, the High Elf team, the Elves of Shannara, led by Vaughan. My kin, in the sense that we're both Welsh. Also 2 High Elves missing. There's a plus strength piece. There's a block catcher. There's this weird strong arm thrower. Very strange choice still. And the Blitzer has plus movement. Interesting. I'm intrigued as to whether that was a double or not. If it was a double, probably would have taken a double personally. But if it was a single, a soft 10 so to speak, then yeah, movement isn't the worst thing. This team's developed strangely with 2 stat freaks, to be honest. That's a very strange development. But they said a 10-10, 20k, 2 team rerolls, and an apothecary. So the matches for this last round, one of them has already been played actually. Meshuggah has played Ron, so these 2 teams are finished, and the Necromantic team actually won 2-0. The Underworld have to take on the Humans, and the Undead take on the Wood Elves. So an exciting final round for this group. Having a look at the leaderboard then, Gerber still sits at the top, undefeated so far, with Underworld, which is quite an impressive feat. Undo is in second with 3 wins and a loss. The Humans are in third with 2-1-1. Then the Necromantics with 2-1-2. Undead with 1-0-3. And Braun's High Elves unfortunately sit at the bottom with 5 straight losses. Do keep in mind that after this season there will be a short break probably, but especially with the World Cup and everything going on, which I will announce soon in a video. But in the third round, you can bring teams back, don't forget, and you're invited to bring all of your teams back, as well as potentially facing new coaches. Though I will somewhat lift the race restrictions so it's not so strict, because otherwise it's going to be unfair on new coaches. But do keep that in mind if you are unfortunately knocked out at this stage, like Vaughan, you can bring your team or teams back in the following season. That's it for A. Let's take a drop in with chat. Nothing in chat, that's fine. It's a weird time of day, so no surprise there really. Moving on to Division B then, my own division, and the game actually in Division B will be played after this video sometime. We did aim for free UTC and it is currently 2:15, so probably straight after this video we will be playing our match. So in this round then, the Dark Elves managed to beat the Vampires 1-0. The Humans went 3-0 against the Chaos, and my Ogres went 1-3 against the Amazons. It was well played by Doc Mark. Let's see what we got then, starting with the Ogre team, who thankfully will get to have a rest after today, because I could do with a break from Blood Bowl, to be honest. I've got way too many tournaments. But I got an Ogre with Guard. I've got an Ogre with plus Agility, because of course I have. It was mostly as a joke, but I don't know, he's really... I don't know, he's really a threat suddenly. I quite like him. There's an Noblar with Diving Tackle, but he's out with Miss Next Game. There's a Noblar who is niggled. Another Noblar has another Miss Next Game. And a Noblar has minus Agility. With 3 Noblars out, I probably am going to buy a couple of Noblars before the game, just so I have a couple of numbers, but against Vampires I may honestly save it, especially as it's the last game for them this season. So I may manage without, just with a relatively small team. Because I think the Vampires are pretty small too. Doc Mark's Amazons. There's something that hasn't leveled, unfortunately, but let's have a look. So sitting at 1070, 120k in the bank. Rookie Blitzer, Blitzer with Mighty Blow. Blitzer that I hurt, minus movement. Blitzer with Guard. Then a few linewomen. One has 3 SPP, one has 5. Agility block catcher, and a Miss Next Game linewoman as well. The second catcher is also a touchdown away from leveling. It's a pretty nice looking Amazon team for a couple of games. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And then Chris J, who hasn't had the best luck with his Chaos here. 920 TV and 70k in the bank. Still on 10 players with a Chaos Warrior and a Beastman missing. So 2 loners going into the next match. I think I said 10 players, but 9 players. Sorry, yawning. Okay, 3 Team Murals and an Apothecary as well. One of the Chaos Warriors has Mighty Blow, at least, but yeah, this Chaos team's been a little bit of a disaster for Chris J so far. I do have hope that he will keep the team for a little bit, but well, we'll see what happens, basically. Alright then, Ciso and Dark Elves. Garat Passi. 1,200 TV with 40k in the bank. There's a lineman who's out. There's a lineman with Mighty Blow. There's a lineman who's a touchdown away from scoring, and another with Dodge. One of the blitzers has plus agility, one of the blitzers has Nerves of Steel, and the Witch Elf has picked up Block. The last blitzer, there's blitzer missing from the team, but out of the 3 blitzers, the last one is also on 4 SPP. 3 Team Murals and an Apothecary on this team. Then we got Andes and his humans, the Imperators. And nice development here. So 3 Team Murals and an Apothecary, 1170, 30k in the bank. Blitzer with Blodge Tackle, second Blitzer with Tackle, Catcher with Block, Ogre is 1 away from leveling, Thrower with Block, there's a lineman who's also 1 away from leveling, and another lineman who is an injury away from leveling. So not a bad start for the humans. Not a bad start at all. They've had a fairly successful season as well, I believe. And lastly in this group, my opponent for today, the FC Dawn City Donors, led by Saima. 1,180 in the bank with 150k left to spend. And the team looks bigger. Oh dear. Oh, the team is up to 13. Okay, well, there's a Vampire with Block, a Vampire with plus agility, a Thrall with Guard, a Thrall with Wrestle, and another Thrall that is 2 away from leveling. Oh, looking at this, I'm going to have to actually buy some more Noblars. That's a shame. Really didn't want to, but I don't think I have much of a choice here. Don't know what to say about this team, really. It's pretty spread out amongst 4 pieces. There's a couple of SPP dotted about as well, but I don't know. Not a bad start, with 2 Vampires leveling pretty quickly, and the Guard and a Thrall. Nice, actually. Very nice. 4 Team Murals and an Apothecary. So, this round's matches. The Vampires take on the Ogres, the Humans take on the Amazons, and the Dark Elves take on the Chaos. Maybe the Chaos can finally do some damage. And looking at the leaderboard then, Doc Mark sits at the top with 4 straight wins. The Humans and the Dark Elves are in joint second with 3 wins and a loss apiece. The Vampires sit in third with 1 win, 3 losses. The Chaos are in joint fourth with myself, Chris J and me. 1 draw, 3 losses each, and the draw was each other. That's Chaos and Ogres at the bottom. Alright then, and moving on to Division C then. It's here. So last week's round we had the Fallon Globe Waddlers, the Dwarf team. Dwarf team? Yes, Dwarf team went against the Chaos Dwarf team, Snow White's Nightmares. Death Gods Can't Die, the Khemri team, went 2-0 against Goodbye to Gravity, which is a Kislev team. Exponential Smugness, the Anime Rejects, went 2-0 against Pick Your Poison, which are Nurgle. Let's have a look at the teams then. Stouticus, Exponential Smugness, the Anime Rejects, sitting at 1240 with 40k in the bank. We've got a Guard Blitzer, nice, and a Plus Movement Blitzer, also nice. Thrower has Accurate, which he's had for a while, and Catcher is 2 away from leveling. Second Catcher has Dodge, and there's Lineman with Kick. There's also a Niggled Lineman in this team as well, and one that has 5 SPP, 1 away from leveling. 3 Team Murals and an Apothecary. It's a nice start for the Anime Rejects. Pretty quick development. And Evil Alive's Nurgle team, pick your poison. Sitting at 1080 with 30k in the bank. And still no levels. Jesus. That's bad luck. Well, there's a minus agility rotter. Beast of Nurgle has 2 SPP. One of the Pestigors is a touchdown away. Rotter is on 5. All four Nurgle warriors have picked up SPP. 2 of them are on 4, 1 is on 5, 1 has 2. And there's another Rotter that's on 5 SPP, but no levels in 4 games. Madness. And 2 team rerolls. Then we have Goodbye to Gravity, the Kislev team led by D-Man, sitting at 950 with 60k in the bank and a very, very thin roster. They're actually down to 8 at the moment. We got a Blitzer with Block, a Blitzer with Wrestle, a Catcher with Dodge, a Lineman with Block, and a Lineman who is missing this game, who is on minus armor value. Likely fired, to be honest. 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary. 3 loners for the last match. That's a hard setup for the Kislev. And 60k in the bank, so he could buy 1. Sorry, I need to sleep apparently. He could buy 1 lineman as opposed to suffering just with loners, but the loners are probably worth it, to be honest. Then Herringzord's Foulum Globewaddlers, sitting at 1130 with 180k in the bank, a dwarf team. Let's have a look then. 2 Troll Slayers, of course. One, I say of course, not everyone has 2. But 1 has 5 SPP, 1 has 2. The runner has picked up Block. The second runner is a touchdown away from scoring. Blitzer with Mighty Blow piling on. Longbeard on miss next game. Second Longbeard with Guard, and then there's a 4, a 5, and a 2 dotted about the team as well. 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary on the team, of course. Looking alright as a dwarf team, especially that Blitzer that's leveled quite well. I said Khemri in the team part, but this is an undead team. I do apologise, Mego. So Mego's undead. Death Gods Can't Die with 1,120 TV. And 110k in the bank. There's 3 team rerolls on this team as well. There's a Mummy with Guard, a second Mummy with 4 SPP, a White that is 1 away from leveling, a Wrestle Ghoul, a Block Shorehands Ghoul, a Zombie with 5 SPP, and there's a Skeleton dotted in there as well. And 12-man roster. It's slightly quicker than the other undead team in terms of development, so not bad, not bad. And lastly in this group there's Manasatra and his Chaos Dwarfs, so 1,110 TV, 100k in the bank. We've got 2 team rerolls and an Apothecary on this team. And Bull Centaur with Block, a Bull Centaur that is a touchdown away from leveling. There's a Chaos Dwarf blocker with plus strength, 1 with Mighty Blow, and there are 3 lots of 2 SPP dotted about. There's also a Hobgoblin who has 2 SPP and a cute little button nose, but otherwise nothing to report on this team. This round's matchups then, we have the Chaos Dwarfs taking on Kislev, which is not a good way for that broken Kislev team to go. Nurgle taking on Dwarfs, so not a good chance for the Nurgle to actually finally pick up some SPP either. And the Anime Rejects take on the Undead, which are the 2 most developed teams in the division, so that's going to be the match of the round for sure. And Herringzord sits at the top with a Dwarf team with 4 wins. We've got 2 joint second, Mego and Manasatra Undead Chaos Dwarfs, sitting with 2 wins and a draw each. In third place is D-Man and that broken Kislev team with 2 wins, 2 losses. So he can still come out of this. And the Anime Reject team led by Stouticus is in 4th with 1 win and 3 losses, and Evil Alive's Nurgle sit at the bottom with 4 straight losses, unfortunately for him. Let's have a quick drop in with chat. Nothing, but there's quite a few people watching now, so hello people watching. Good to have you here. And we move on to Division D. So this last round we had Hesiod's Harlots, the Amazon team, going 1-1 against the Norse team Children of Manicorn. The Camry team, the means of production, are basically a bye week now because Foxen had to drop out because of real life issues, unfortunately. So the Dwarf team Draft Punks took that as a straightforward win. And the Mighty Meteors, the High Elf team, went 2-3 against Speedy and Gonzalez, the Skaven team. Let's have a look at the teams themselves. Starting with Children of Manicorn, Darth Physicist, 130 TV, 100k in the bank, and a 10-man roster. That's unfortunate. 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary. We've got an Ulf with block. We've got both Berserkers on 3 SPP. We've got a runner with guard, nice. Second runner, a touchdown away from leveling. A lineman with guard, nice. And a lineman that has 4 SPP. Could afford to replace this missing piece. Basically with a lineman, just so you don't have to deal with the loner. But I'm not sure how he's going to use that 100k, to be honest. Then the Draft Punks, the Dwarf team led by 130, sitting at 1180, 90k in the bank. We got 2 Troll Slayers with 2 SPP each. The runner, number 1, has block. This fun pass block runner is still here. 8 SPP and 7 SPP respectively. There's a Blitzer with guard, and a Blitzer that only has picked up 2 SPP. 2 guard dwarfs and 2 guard longbeards, sorry, and 2 longbeards with 2 SPP. 3 team rerolls and Apothecary. Then we have Doom and his Skaven team, Speedy and Gonzalez, sitting at 1070 TV with 70k in the bank. There's a Gutter Runner with minus strength. There's also a Gutter Runner that has 5 SPP. Third Gutter Runner has block. Storm Vermin has 2 SPP, other Storm Vermin is a complete rookie. There are 2 linemen, line rats with block, and a armor busted thrower that has 5 SPP. I'm kind of surprised he isn't replaced, as you have the exact right amount to replace him. 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary on this team as well. Then we got Monkey Chunks and his High Elf team, the Mighty Meteors, this golden eyesore that is the High Elf team. Sitting at 1070 TV with 50k in the bank. There are 2 team rerolls and an Apothecary. There's a Kick Lineman. There's a Catcher with block and dodge. There's a Blitzer with dodge, and a Blitzer that is 1 away from leveling. There's also a Thrower who's just leveled, and he's been given Accurate as a skill. I do like these passing elf teams. Recommend it to everybody who elves. 2 team rerolls and an Apothecary on the team as well. We're going to skip Varkson's team because it's basically a dead team now. But Hesiod's Harlots, led by Weave, the second Amazon team, sitting at 940 with 90k in the bank. We got a Blitzer and Mighty Blow. We got a Blitzer on this next game with guard. We got a second Blitzer on this next game. There's a Diving Tackle Catcher. Interesting choice. One of the catchers and one of the throwers are 1 touchdown away from leveling. Second thrower, also has 2 SPP, and a line woman has 5 SPP. 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary on this team. This round then we see the High Elves against the Amazons. The Skaven team are getting the bye week, and Norse take on Dwarfs, which is always fun for the Norse. Looking at the leaderboard then, the Norse that I just mentioned are at the top with 3 wins and a draw. The Dwarfs are in second, with 2 wins, 2 draws. That's Darth Physicist and 130 respectively. Weave's Amazons sit in third with 1 win, 3 draws. In fourth we have the High Elves of Monkey Chunks with 112. Then there are Doom Skaven 103, and at the bottom this bye week that is 0-1, going to be 4. That's it for Division D. And down I see you again, sorry. Oh, I can't breathe apparently. My deepest apologies. Right, so on to Division E then, moving right along. Last round looked like this. The Nurgle Totally Fun team went 1-0 against Starry Fight, the Orc team. Interesting. Trading AV for Power, the Wood Elf team went 1-2 against the Chaos Dwarfs. And Loophole Substitution? Who are they? I don't know. Went 0-2 against Regen, please. Who the hell are they? Ah, the Chaos, of course they are. Yes, okay. And the Chaos team went 0-2 against the Necromantic team. Right, so let's start off with the frog. The nerd frog. 1150 TV with 70k in the bank. We've got Maiden Zamagrund. There's a claw dwarf. And that's it. There's also a niggled hobgoblin, but he doesn't look any unhappier. There are some frees dotted about. 3 frees. 3 trees. There are 2 5s dotted about in the team, but nothing too interesting to report on this group, actually. This team, sorry. 3 team rerolls and an apothecary, though. Next up is Carlos Ibs and his Nurgle Totally Fun team. 1060 TV with 60k in the bank. We got a Stand Firm Beast of Nurgle. All 4 Nurgle warriors, 2 of which have 2 SPP. The Pestigore is on 11, he's picked up Mighty Blow. One of the Rotters is also on 11, he's picked up Dirty Player. Another Rotter is on 5 SPP, the other 2 are complete rookies. 2 rerolls in this team. Poncho's Wood Elves trading AB for power is a very, very small roster. 840 TV and 30k in the bank. And we're currently on a roster of 7 because one of the catchers is out with minus strength. Unfortunately, he has leveled up to get block. All 3 catchers are block catchers. And there's a thrower who's picked up leader. The War Dancer's a complete rookie. The other War Dancer, I guess, is dead. And then there are some linemen missing. It's going to be a rough final game for these Wood Elves for sure. 2 team rerolls and an apothecary in the group as well. Blissful Fire's Necromantic team regen please. 140, 140 in the bank. Both werewolves have Mighty Blow. Interesting. Flesh Golem with block. That's all she wrote. There's a zombie with minus armor value. There are 3 5s dotted about and a 2 in the SPP pool. 2 team rerolls for this team as well. Then we have the Orc team Starry Fight led by Rumblebee. Come on, there we go. Sitting on 1160 TV, 40k in the bank. Yep, that's 11 players. There's a Blitzer with Mighty Blow. There's a Blitzer with Guard. There's a Blitzer with Mighty Blow minus movement. 2 of the Blorks have block, and the rest of the team are rookies. 3 team rerolls and an apothecary. It's a pretty underdeveloped Orc team, but it's not the end of the world. Not so bad. And lastly in this group we've got Sir Madness, who I believe joined late when Alucard had to drop. Sitting on 920 TV with 20k in the bank. This Chaos team is looking in a little bit better shape, but only a little bit better shape than the previous team. Also has 9 players, 2 Beastmen missing, though Beastman has picked up block, and there are 3 team rerolls, no apothecary as of yet. But it's alright, he's just here basically to end out the season. And we got... what am I doing? Sorry, I forgot to look at this round, and also the leaderboard. So this round, the Orcs take on the Necromantic team. The Chaos take on the Chaos Dwarfs. And the Wood Elves take on the Nurgle. I'm losing my mouse. The leaderboard stands as this. Nurgle are at the top with 3 wins and 1 draw. That's led by Carlos Ibs. Poncho is in second with 3 wins and a loss. The Chaos Dwarfs of Nerdfrog are in third with 2-0-2. The Orcs of Rumblebee are in fourth with 1-1-2. Necromantic Blissful Fire in fifth with 1-0-3. And Sir Madness's Chaos are at the bottom with the inherited score 0-2-2. One of the bosses is of course his own. On to F then we have G, then we're done. So Division F. Last round. The Howling Wargs, what are they called? Norse. The Norse team went 2-0 against Rabbit Miners, who are an underworld team. Rusty and Dusty, the Khemri team, went 1-2 against the Lizards Cold Blood, and Sparkle Rats went 1-1 against Mad Male. That is Orcs against Skaven. Let's have a look at the team and go off the division apparently. So, starting with Storm Raider and his Cold Blood. Well, his team Cold Blood. 1150, 60k in the bank. 2 sidestep skinks. Croxagore is an injury away from leveling. 1 Saurus is on 5. 2 Saurus are on 5. 2 Saurai are on 3. And 1 Saurai is on 2. Not so bad. 3 team murals. No Apothecary yet. That's curious. Maybe the Apothecary will be the thing that he buys going into this next game. Then we have Mad Mail, the Orcs led by Mark Mail, sitting at 1280 TV. No money in the bank. 3 team murals and an Apothecary. There's a Mighty Blow Blitzer, there's a Blitzer with Strength, there's a second Mighty Blow Blitzer and a Tackle Blitzer. Other than that, nothing to report. There are 2 5s dotted about, there are 2 2s. 3 2s dotted about. Otherwise, nothing too exciting. Again, relatively slow build for the Orcs. Usually a punchy pick-up SPP team, but slow moving for both Orc teams so far, with most SPP going, of course, to the Blitzers. Righto then. And then we have Sparkle Rats led by Mint or Pixie Dust, the Skaven team, sitting at 1250 with 80k in the bank. The thrower is 2 away from leveling. 2 of the gutter runners have block, 1 of the gutter runners has wrestle, 1 has 2 heads. Both Storm Vermin are rookies, but one of them is a touchdown away from scoring. There's a dirty player and a 2 SPP in the bench lineup here. 3 rerolls and an Apothecary. Then we have Hummerseps, Camry, Rusty and Dusty. 130, 90k in the bank. Sorry, I was losing my microphone briefly. Both Throw-Rows are complete rookies. Both Blitz-Rows are 2, but one of them has picked up 2 SPP. There's a Tomb Guardian with Mighty Blow, 2 lots Tomb Guardian with Mighty Blow, and a third Tomb Guardian who has 5 SPP, he's about to level. There's also a Skeleton with 5 SPP and a 2 SPP Skeleton. 3 team rerolls on this team. And then we have the Rabid Miners. Underworld team, 930, 190 in the bank. Spending something on something. One of the 2 Skaven throwers is out with an injury. Otherwise, there's there is a level. There's a Goblin with 2 heads. Nothing else is leveled. There's 1, 2, 3, 5 SPPs, a 3 SPP, and 2 SPPs. 3 team rerolls and an Apothecary on this team as well. And lastly in this group, Magnus the Mad, the Howling Wargs, the Norse team, 1210, 40k in the bank. Apothecary and 2 team rerolls. Both Berserkers are still rookies. The Yeti has picked up Mighty Blow. Both Ulfs are still rookies. Runner has picked up plus movement. Runner has picked up dodge. And 1 lineman has minus movement, 1 lineman has niggle, and then there's a tackle lineman down there as well. And this is a full roster though. Looking good. So that's it for Division F. Let's have a look at this week's round. The Camry take on the Norse. The Underworld take on the Skaven. That's going to be an interesting one. And the Lizards take on the Orcs, which is always a classic fight. Having a look at the leaderboard. Pixie Dust sits at the top with 3-1-0. Then the Orcs of Markmail are in second with 2-2-0. Norse are in third with 2-1-1. In fourth we have Storm Raiders Lizardman with 2-0-2. James Typhoon is in fifth. Joint fifth with Hummersep. Both the Underworld and the Camry have 1 draw, 3 losses each. So interesting to see how that develops in the last round. And last but not least we have Division G. Division G. So last week's round looks like this. Marak Marauders, the Camry team, went 2-1 against the bosses of Bert Sol, the Bretonian team. Short and Sweet, the Goblin team, went 1-2 against the Lizard team of Glorious Fossils. And Half Blacks have done it again, went 2-1, that's a Halfling team, against Cowboys on the Sea, which is a Dark Elf team. Very impressive win. Let's start off with Cake then, and his bosses of Bert Sol, sitting at 980 with 150 in the bank. We got a plus movement blitzer, we got a blocker with guard, a blocker with mighty blow, and a lineman with minus armor value. A second blocker is free SPP away from leveling, as is a second blitzer. 2 team heroes, apothecary. Next up is this Dark Elf team that lost to the Half Blacks somehow. There's a player missing too, 960 60k TV. There are 2 pieces missing, 2 team heroes and an apothecary. There's a mighty blow on a blitzer, and there's a tackle on a lineman. Can't afford any new replacements, so we're gonna have to deal with those 2 loners, unfortunately, for you. Right. Oh, too many backs. Not enough fronts. Alright then, next up we have the legendary Halfling roster, the Half Blacks. 740 TV, 100k in the bank, and it's looking like a very pretty Halfling team. There's a grab on a tree, there's a sidestep diving tackle on a Halfling. Then there's a 5 dotted about and a 2. Nothing else to report here. 2 team heroes, no apothecary. There is going to be a loner next game though, unless he buys a fling. Rylox Goblins Short and Sweet coming next at 1,180 with 70k in the bank. It's expensive for a Goblin team. A Troll is 2 away from leveling. It's a full roster, people. 16 players on here. Looney is 1 away from leveling. Smudge Brownie has plus strength. One of the goblins has diving tackle, another goblin has sidestep. 3 team heroes and an apothecary on this team. There's also a goblin with 5 SPP that hasn't yet leveled. Righto. And Grey Fox and his Marak Marauders. 40k in the bank, 1240 TV. 2 lots of Mighty Blow on both Glitterars. Furrar has block fend, and Skeleton has block as well. There's a 5 dotted in there, and there are 2 2s, both on positionals. So, good chance for some development there still as well. 3 team rerolls on this team. And last but not least, Fallen Glory and his Lizards, the Glorious Fossils, 970, 100k in the bank. Down to 10 players. No one's leveled. Well, 3 people are leveled, but they haven't yet been rolled. So, not sure what to say about that, but there we go. There's the Lizard team. 2 team rerolls and an Apothecary in this team. Alright then, having a look at the schedule for this round. The Half Blacks, that's the Halfling team, take on Marak Marauders, the Khemri team. Short and Sweet, the Goblin team, take on Cowboys in the Sea, the Dark Elf team. And the Bosses of Bird Soul, the Returnians, take on Glorious Fossils, the Lizards. Looking forward to seeing as many of these as I possibly can. And leaderboard here then, the Half Blacks are at the top. I'll say that again. The Half Blacks are at the top with 3 wins and 1 draw. Marak Marauders and Glorious Fossils come up close behind with 2 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Kakengrad is in 3rd with 1 win, 2 draws, 1 loss. Rylok and his Goblins in 4th with 1-1-2. And the Dark Elves of Tyledrus unfortunately sit in the backpack with 0 points. Alright then. That's basically it. So we're on to the last round. After this round there will be the knockout of 16. It is a placement based knockout, so even if you are 2nd place in your division, it does not necessarily mean that you are going up. And similarly, if you are 3rd in your division, it does not necessarily mean that you are not going up. So please don't assume your position until I've actually announced the knockouts. And I will remind you all that I am accepting kind of quietly any team that wants to come back in Division 3, which will be a mix between the old teams of all these previous invitationals and also new teams. I will be lifting the restrictions a little bit though. There will be more than 3 of each team. I'll probably put it at like, I don't know, 5 per team. So at least there's a little bit of leeway for new coaches. You can bring both teams back if you want to bring them back for the all-star version. I'll be playing my game with Saimar shortly, hopefully, the ogres against the vampires that we looked at earlier. And I will soon be announcing the qualifiers for the World Cup, but it is all up in my Discord. If you are there, by all means sign up, let me know that you want to qualify, and let me know that you are in fact over 18. Any further questions, please direct them to the chat in Twitch that is still open, or down below in the YouTube video if you're watching via YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye for now.